Hi, this is Chris Mann, Professor of Accounting for Crossroads Bible College in Fort Wayne, Indiana. This is video number 1, taken July 7th, 2017 for Crossroads Bible College Business BU 3301. I'm preparing this video in light of what I learned Thursday night, and I want to, I've prepared a little overview of this video. What we're going to do is start out with a preface going over what I learned Thursday night about this class, and then I'm going to move into the syllabus review, and then we're going to talk about the Google Chrome platform. I'm going to provide an overview, a OneDrive overview, and then we're going to get into one of the project folders, and then we'll review some of the things about Excel that we talked about in class, and then we'll dive into Project 1. And I actually will make Project 1 right here on this video. So first, let me offer some opening remarks about Thursday night. I knew this coming into class, but it became apparent pretty much in stark relief that there's a lot of diversity of expertise in this class, and that's one of the challenges facing any technology-oriented class, whether you're teaching Microsoft Office or Adobe Creative Suite or any platform. You always have a bunch of people coming in with diverse levels of expertise, and so I realize now that in order to help get everybody up on the same page, I'm going to provide some very basic teaching on the platforms here, the various platforms ranging from Google Chrome to OneDrive, Excel, and then we're actually do some pragmatic lessons on how to make this first project and the other projects to come. So with that, let's pivot into the syllabus itself. You'll recall that what we're doing leading up until now is that we're supposed to be watching the various Excel videos. I'm in the syllabus now, and due Wednesday, July 5, this past Wednesday, were these videos. What you do is you click on the videos through the link here, and you watch these videos. These are the names of the videos. You scroll down a little bit more, click this link, and you'll see these videos and so forth on down the line. After you're done with these videos, come to item number 6 and you click this link. Now as you hover over this in Microsoft Word, you'll notice that there's a pop-up window. It's telling you what link it's going to, but you're not be able to go very easily. What you have to do is you have to press the control button and then your link, and that is what will pop up that window. Some of you didn't understand that's how links work in the Microsoft Word environment, and you've got to, and as you see, I've already tested my own form out, so it's not going to let me take the test, let me take the form, but that's how you would go right to the link. It's step number 6, click the link, and then the next week is identical in scope and nature here. Here's the video links, here's all the videos that you're supposed to see. And then number 2, you go to the form and you click this link. Pressing the control button, that you see the little hand pop up there, you left click that thing and you'll pop right into the form, okay, and so forth. So this new form link is due next Wednesday, July 12 by midnight. And so while I'm at it, what we're going to be doing toward the end of this video is I'm going to actually create this project, and you're going to get to see me do it online. You can of course, the benefit of this video seminar is that you can replay this as many times as you need in order to deeply get the lessons and the skill sets. So let's go back to our agenda here. What's next? Syllabus review for MS Word. Good. So let's go to the Google Chrome overview. For some of you, I know this will be very basic, but for others, I think you'll appreciate just an overview of what the web browser is. This web browser is all about. To recap, there different kinds of web browsers made by different companies. But the key concept to keep in mind is that these are vehicles that get you to a destination. Just like you can take a motorcycle, a car, or a truck to get to Toledo, Ohio, you can also take Microsoft's Internet Explorer or the new browser that is positioned to replace Internet Explorer, Microsoft Edge. You can also take Google Chrome, or you can take Mozilla Firefox. There's a bunch of different browsers you can take, including Apple's Safari browser. They can all get you to these same destinations called CNN.com or MSNBC.com or Crossroads.edu. They all take you to the same destination, but they take you to on their particular platform. I'm going to be using the Google Chrome platform. I'm most familiar with it. It's most comfortable with me. I'm most comfortable with it. And as you know, I've logged on to as you can see right here, I've logged on to my account, and Microsoft wants me to try their product, try Microsoft Edge. But I'm going to say thanks, but no thanks. I already have the browser. It's a pretty good browser. It has some good innovations to it, but I'm going to stick with Google Chrome for now. I'm going to show you some of the tricks in Google Chrome that help my workflow and might be useful to you as well. So I'm going to click no thanks here, pick up some real estate on my screen, and then I'm going to go right into how I have set up my Chrome browser, my browser called Google Chrome, to help me make this class happen. You'll note up here that this is called the Bookmarks tab, okay? And the way that I made this appear is I went to this little icon right here, left click on it, and it pops down, and I go down to the Bookmarks section, and I have clicked the Show Bookmarks bar. If I click this right now, it'll take it away. And as you can see right there, it's disappeared. But I like it there, so I'm going to come back here and turn it on. Oops, wrong thing. I'll come back here and show the Bookmarks bar. Okay. Now, what I have done is I have gone to the top of the bar, and I created a folder. And I right-clicked on this, and I added a folder. And it asked me, what folder do you want this to be in? So it's asked me right now, it's prompting me to name this folder, and it's telling me ahead of time that since I actually right-clicked on the Crossroads Excel folder, that it's planning on placing this folder, whatever I name it, right in that Crossroads Excel. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to save this just as is. This folder is going to be named New Folder. Not the most innovative of names, but it is what it is for the moment. I'm going to go back here and click this and see now that I have a new folder. And it's empty because I haven't put anything in it. But I'm going to keep it there for a moment just to teach you something else. So I'm going to unclick this, and I'm going to go and grab a random website. Let's say that I went to CNN and I saw something that was interesting, and I wanted to clip that because it's somehow relevant to what I'm going to be doing in the future class. And I'm going to randomly pick a web link here, and I'll let it load. Okay, I've got a website now. Pause that. Now here's a news clip. I haven't really read through. I don't know really what it's about. I'm going to grab this guy right here. I'm going to grab the eye on this thing. Actually, anything over here, wherever whatever icon shows up, it'll be different for every website. But I grab the icon here, and I'm going to drag this guy.
David Gergen, I know you're a believer in diplomacy. Meetings are good.
Sorry about that. I'm going to grab this icon. I'm going to drag it over to the Excel, and I could drop it right now in this main folder, or I could drag it down here to the new folder. I'm going to do that right now just to show you how this works. And if I come back up here, I see now I have this media clip in my new folder. This can be very helpful for you, and I'll leave it to you to think about how you can use it. But and I'm going to say goodbye to CNN right now because they're insisting on playing stuff when I really don't want it played. Okay, so I've got that done, and that's really helps. This can really help your workflow, so keep this in mind. So let's go from there. I think we had enough overview for Google Chrome. that we can go into the next item, and that would be the OneDrive overview. So there's a, I hope there's some, I'm going to provide some context to Microsoft's fight with Google, and I hope it's helpful. I hope it doesn't overcomplicate or make things confusing. But oversimplified, Google has been eating Microsoft's lunch for the past 10 years. And Microsoft will argue with that. But the fact is, Google is just really the new kid on the block that really has been beating up Microsoft on just about every platform, whether it's online computing or it's phone, Android devices, or whatever. And Microsoft has really been trying to figure out how to come back. And they had idea after idea that failed after failed, or it semi-failed after semi-failed. They're still trying to figure out how to really compete against Google. So they came out with, I'm not exactly sure of all the order of these events, but in order to respond to Google's onslaught, they responded with some brands that were sort of popular, not really. They changed them out, they modified them, they completely did away with them. And the result is, in 2017, there's a lot of confusion about Microsoft's brand platform. And here's an illustration. Microsoft came out and offered their suite that they normally charged $400 to $500 for per person for many, many years. Now they're offering many of these services for free, and they hosted them at office.com. Well, that sort of makes sense. I mean, Microsoft is known for its Office products. So they bought the website, they bought the URL, office.com, and they thought they'd host it there. Well, I don't know who was in the decision of this, but they decided to do away with that and move to live.com. I don't know why, but they did it. And they went to Office. Then what you would have to do is you go to office.live.com. And that made sense to somebody in Seattle, but didn't make sense to the rest of us. So they went back to office.com, but sometimes you'll actually see now office.live.com. You're just trying to sign into your account, and you go through these crazy names, and you wonder what's going on here. And the short answer is there are some brainiacs in Redmond, Washington who know this, but the rest of us really don't understand what they're trying to do. I say this because as you're trying to figure out where you log in, it can be confusing. So what I want to say is, at least pat you on the back and say, if you're feeling this discomfort, then you're in good company. There's a lot of people like that. What I would suggest is bookmarking office.com, signing in, as you've seen that I've done here right now, and you got access to your documents. Once you log in to any of these documents, you'll see this changes. For example, I'm going to go to the Word document here, and boom, at the top here it says office.live.com, start Word, blah, 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 blah. And I can go ahead and create new documents, and it'll do that. At the same time, I can go into PowerPoint, and it's going to go to office.live.com, start PowerPoint. All this to say that if you're feeling confused, you're in good company. Don't get nervous about it. Office does work, Office Online, and it's a very good tool. It's a very successful, good tool. It just, Microsoft's having an identity crisis, and we need to be patient with them as they figure it out. To pile on the identity problem, Google offered this thing called Google Drive some years ago, and it's basically an online storage service. Just like you have X number of gigabytes as a hard drive on your computer, Google thought it was a great idea to offer online storage. It's very comparable to competitors like Dropbox and another service called Box, and there's many other cloud services now that are offered. And Microsoft said, oops, we got to compete with this as well. So they introduced a service called SkyDrive. And that had its modest success, but it still was not competing well against Google Drive. So they actually rebranded it into OneDrive. And now OneDrive is one of their flagship services or flagship brands. And they offered some more brand confusion into their total platform. So once you actually try to log into OneDrive, you find out you have just as much access to their apps as the Office.com platform. It's the same thing under the hood, but now you're looking at your documents. And you'll notice up here now the website changed from office.com to onedrive.live.com. Are you confused? You're in good company. But you resolve the confusion by knowing that whenever you log into the Microsoft platform, it takes you to different URLs, but you're still the same person. And you are, and you're in, even though this thing changes up here, the basic platform is pretty consistent. Whether this is called Office up here or whether this is called OneDrive up here, I'm going to click this button here and you can see it's all the same stuff. Here's the Microsoft queue of products, and over here at office.com, it's all the same Microsoft queue of products, and you see my name's here and my name's here. So I hope that's helpful, and I hope it doesn't confuse people. At least after this, I hope that this explanation helps a lot. I have this tab opened up twice. I don't need that. So what do we need to do here? This is the overview. This is OneDrive overview. I'm going to close out this because I really don't need this open anymore. I'm going to stick in the OneDrive environment. This is a file management and folder management platform. And it's a very powerful platform. And for reasons I don't want to bother getting to now, in my opinion, it's not as good and not as quality as the Google Drive platform. And that's what I use for my clients and my personal work. But OneDrive is a good platform. And I'm going to show you a few things on how to use this. First of all, you might, as you log into your own account, you might say, hey, my account does not look like Chris's account. What's going on with that? Well, for starters, I have some folders that I've already created here. And you may or may not have folders that you've created yet, or if you're already a user, your folders are not going to look exactly like mine. But I have created a folder called CBC BU 3301 Excel for Managers, July 2017. I'll get in that in a moment. But and that's what I have shared with you all. And you all should have access to that by now. So I'm going to go review some of the features here. In order to create a document in OneDrive, I can do one of two things. I can click this guy up here and open up a new environment, Word. It'll open up a tab, and I'll be in the Word environment. Or I'm going to X out of that. I could open up the Excel environment, and it'll open up a new tab up here. Ask me what kind of Excel sheet I want to start. I can also open up any number of these tabs. I can do the same thing over here by clicking New, and I end up doing a Word document right here. This directly goes right into a Word document. I'm ready to go. So you save a step or two. And I can do the same thing for Excel or PowerPoint or anything like that. This is an upload tab, and what this affords me is the ability to upload either a file or folder, or a plurality of files and folders, from my computer into the OneDrive platform. And what I'll do, I'll sample file here. I'll click on a file, and I'll go to my desktop and temp file, and I will get this, and it's telling me that one item wasn't uploaded, and I don't know why. Making me out to be a liar here. Okay, it looks like I'm not sure what that was. Anyhow, I'm not going to bother correcting this. This is the means by which you upload files and folders, and if you have any questions, feel free to send me an email. You can view your files and folders in a variety of ways. You can view it by date last modified, the size. You'll see that these are rearranged according to size now, or the date modified, just like your normal Windows browser that you have on your computers. And this is not a whole. It's nothing new here. this is a different way to actually see your folders. So I can look at these according to tiles, and slightly different, although not very different, is to look at them according by photo. I prefer the list view, so I'll keep it there. So that is about all you need to know about OneDrive. There are some features over here. I won't get into that, but it's a pretty big platform. When you sign up for OneDrive, they typically give you a terabyte of information. You can see down here that I'm using about a little over a gigabyte of my terabyte. There are about 1,000 gigabytes inside of a terabyte. A gigabyte, 1 gigabyte is 1,000 megabytes. So if that helps you with some scale, good. All right, so I'm going to get into, I think next up is Excel. And I'm going to open up an Excel sheet. So I'm going to go to my OneDrive account, and I'm going to click Make an Excel Workbook. So I have a brand new Excel workbook here, and I have by default this ribbon that appears, and I like it that way. There are some people, however, who really need to conserve space on their machine, their monitor. So what they do is they come over here and they say collapse the ribbon, and this little button collapses the whole thing. It means I can have more space to do work on the spreadsheet itself. How do you get it right back? Well, you go to any of these tabs up here, not File, but Home, Insert, Data, Review, or View, and any of these will do the same thing. But I go to Home here, and then there's a little expand the written pin button, and I can pin it up there, and it's hosted again. Now I can do the same thing with any of these menus. You notice the tab here, the pin is here. Go to the tab, the pin is here. Review, the pin is here, and etc. So also the same way in the view. So I have my first project here is to create project number 1 due next Wednesday, and I'm going to first be sure to save my work. And what I'm going to do is name this CBC BU 3301 Accounting for Managers Project 1 by Chris Mann. Here you would fill in your own name. Due 7/12/17. Okay. It didn't like that, so I'll try this again. Make this look shorter too. BU. Okay, keep it that. All right, and what the assignment is to imitate, to build basically the Excel spreadsheet of what I see in a picture that has been provided on the OneDrive. So I'm going to go into OneDrive. I'm going to click in here. I'm going to go to Project 1, and I'm going to, and this is an earlier thing that I did here. I'm going to delete that. I'm going to download this. Let's see how I download this. Oh, actually, I'm just going to open this up. Now, you might want to print this out, or you might want to see it in a different monitor, or however it works best for you. That's fine. I have another monitor here. I'm going to actually, well, actually, I want you to see this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to split my monitor up so you can see what I'm doing while I create the spreadsheet. Okay. Okay, so I've partitioned out my monitor so that I can see what I'm doing on the right over here, and while I create the Excel spreadsheet. So I'm looking over here, and as I first notice that there are a lot of rows, and there's basically just 2 columns. And that might not seem apparent to you at first, but if you look at how all the data is lined up, there's really just 2 sets of information. There's information on the left, and there's information on the right. And so what I'm going to try to do is figure out how many. First, I'm going to figure out how many rows I need. I've already done the counting in advance, and I know that there's 36 rows here. 1, 2. This blank one is going to be a row. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and this is going to be blank right here. 9, 10, 11. So basically, I've counted both the blank rows and the rows that have content, and they're about 36 rows here. Now, if I wanted to make more than 36, that's fine, because actually this white space down here is going to be rows that are just not used. I'm looking for, the assignment here is to test your ability to craft a similar looking invoice. This does not have to be an identical look to the invoice, but it's meant to get you stimulated to thinking, how would I manipulate an Excel spreadsheet to make something that approximates this? So what I noticed right away is that these columns are big. This column appears to be a little bit bigger than this column, and I don't know exactly what the pixel count is on this. I'm going to start out with guessing that column A should be about 50 pixels. So I'm going to highlight, left click on column A, right click down to column width, and it currently is 8.3 pixels. I'm going to say, let's give it 50. Let's see what that looks like. All right, that's pretty fat, and it looks pretty nice. I think that's going to be nice. I'm going to go to column B, and that looks less. I'm going to give that about, let's give that 30. See what that looks like. That looks pretty good. So I'm going to start filling in some data here. First, I'm going to put my all caps in. I'm going to say company name, and I'm not going to give a company name. I'm going to give it my own name, which is reserman.com. You can see my business at reserman.com. And then I'm going to come over here and say invoice. And I'm going to go down a couple of rows, and I'm going to start to fill in some information. My address is 7525 Maple Crest Road, and if you have information you'd like to put in there, your own business, then you just feel free to go ahead and do that. And it's in Fort Wayne, Indiana, and it is 46835. There's an email that they give, so I'll do that too. Reserman at reserman.com, and then there's a website. I can do that too. And there's a phone. Here's my phone. I don't use a fax. I'm going to leave fax, but I'll make up a fax number just for the sake of making everything look cool. So 260-123-4567. Bill 2, again, all caps put in here, and I'm going to make up a client here. First Baptist Church of New Fort Wayne. I don't know if there's a First Baptist Church of Fort Wayne. I'm not their client. I'm not their contract provider. So I'm going to say the New Fort Wayne, fictitious New Fort Wayne. This would be, let's see, John Doe, and it's at 123 Main Street, Fort Wayne, Indiana, 46835, and then I'll make up a phone number. Oops. And I'm going to do something similar over here. Invoice, there is an invoice number, and I'm going to first get out of my all caps, 1001 invoice date is, let's just say it's today, due date, let's say, give them 30 days, terms, and good, set up that way. And then we're going to put the ship to information here. And the ship to is going to be the same pretty much over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight this stuff. I'm going to copy it because the build to and the ship to in this case are the same. And I see that this name is a little bit too, it's more than the 30 pixels that I've allowed for this. So I can do one of two things. I can grab the end of this, I hover over the right side of column B, and I can grab this guy and just move it around. Or I can do something a little bit more lazier, and I can come up here and simply double click. And it automatically finds the exact place it needs. So I'm going to do that. And I'm going to come down here and complete the rest of the invoice. So right now I need a description. I'm going to turn my auto caps on and put description. And I don't know what I'm going to sell them. Let's see. This is item 1. I'm going to make up something for item 1 that's a little bit more interesting than this. I sold them, this church, a transcription of the sermon. Okay. And that cost let's see, that cost $150. Okay. And they also sold I sold them a closed caption file for their video, and that was $150. And then there's a bunch of, then you'll see there's a bunch of blank lines here, and I'll go through that in a moment. And then down here is going to be a shipping total. And for me, that's not really relevant, so I don't charge anybody, so I just email files. So, and then I'm going to click total here, and here's where some Excel magic comes in. Of course, I could manually add up all these terms, and that would defeat the purpose of having an Excel sheet. What I'm going to do, I need to expand this for a moment here, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to compute all the expenses in this column and make this cell add up everything here. And if it all works out, this should be the sum of this and this. Therefore, this should be about $300. So I'm going to go to my Home tab. I'm going to pop this down. Right now I'm going to pin this again because I need it. And I could do one of two things. I could say this cell equals, and you'll notice what happens. There's an equal sign. I press the equal button. There's an equal sign now up here. And this is ready to compute whatever I want to compute now. This is, I could do one of two things. I could say this equals B18 plus B19. Okay, because there's two figures up here, and I've told Excel that I want this cell to be added to this cell. And now I will press the enter button, and look what I get, 300. Okay, but that's really not what I want going forward, because in the future, when I make up one of these again, I just want to be able to save and create my own, create a new one very easily. I don't want to create this all over again. What if I have more items here or less items here? What I want to be able to do is say, I want this stuff plus this stuff, shipping total, to equal the real total that I want. So how would I get Excel to add all that stuff here? Excel has an auto sum feature, and I'm going to press the delete button to wipe away this. So watch up here when I press the delete button. It says, okay, you vacated the equation. There's no more equation here. So what are you going to do? Well, here's what I want to do. I'm going to press this drop down button up here. Again, we're in the Home tab, and we're going to the auto sum feature here. and I'm going to click Sum, and now it's asking me, all right, you want me to, Excel is prompting me to enter more numbers here. It's saying, okay, I get it that you want to add stuff. You want the sum. Now, what numbers do you want the sum of? And I said, I want the sum of all this stuff plus the shipping total. Okay. So in the future, anytime I put stuff, I put a description over here, and then I put the corresponding price points over here, and it's going to add it in this particular cell. So let's see what happens. I'm going to click the enter button, and I've got 300 here. Now there's one problem in that I want dollar signs because we're in American currency, and I want dollar signs. How do I do that? Here's how you do it. For all the cells that you want a particular format to be applied to, you highlight, you select those cells. So I'm going to select the cells, say all the cells, whenever a number appears in this area, I want it to appear as a dollar sign. Okay. So I'm in the Home tab, and I'm going to come over to the number area, and I'm simply going to click on this down button, and I'm going to choose English. You could do United States, you could do Euro, Chinese, etc. I'm going to do English. And now I've got everything in dollars. So in the future, what if I also sell, another service I provide is sermon to blog post, or I take a sermon or repurpose it into blog posts. That can run for about $100. Now I'm going to put the $100 here, and I've got a new total of $400. So that would be the new total due. And really what I've set myself up for is the ability to easily create invoices next time around. But we're not done yet, because this doesn't look like the invoice that we see in the JPEG. We still need some formatting. So how do we do that? Well, here's how we do it. We got over here we got a light blue area, and I'm going to come over here and basically imitate that light blue. Look, come over here, I highlight all these things, cells, and I come over here to the fill color tab. I'm in the Home tab, and I come over to the font area, grab the fill color, and I choose a very light blue. Okay, and that looks pretty comparable to that. These names, these fonts here appear to be darker blue. I've got black, so I'm going to make a change here and give them a dark blue font. I don't know how dark I need to go. Whoops, that's a fill. I'm going to reach to Home tab, Font, and come to the font color. And I'm going to choose a dark blue for a font color. This I see, and this I see are bigger fonts. So what do I want to do with that? Well, I'm going to hold off for a moment because I'm going to get these guys together in a moment. I'm going to come over here and fill in these cells with a darker blue, and as you'll see in a moment, that's going to create something of a problem. Alright, it's a nice handsome darker blue, but I've got black font on a dark blue background. It doesn't really pop out, and what they've done here is they just made the font white. So I'm going to highlight this again, and I'm going to go to the Home tab, Font section, font filler, and I'm going to come up with white, and that looks nice. Nice stark contrast there. But we notice something else here. They have their font kind of inset, and it's a nice parallel here, and it'd be good for us to do that. So what are we going to do with that? Well, we're going to highlight these cells, and I'm going to come over to the, I'm already at the Home tab, and I'm going to align I'm going to indent slightly. I'm going to do the same thing over here. Highlight the text, go to the Home tab, alignment area, and I'm going to indent to the right. And that gives it nice little visual offsetting here. This is very common in Excel, and something that's very important actually for your Excel awareness. When you're doing budgeting and there's sections of budgets in long spreadsheets, managers like to see things that are offset because it visually distinguishes some budgets from other budgets. So that's a feature that you'll use likely a lot in management, Excel management. So we still got an issue here. It doesn't quite look like our sample over here. Let's tinker with this a little bit more and see if we can make it closer to the what you got in the picture. So I'm going to come over here, and I could change. I think I know what that is. I think that's an Arial font. I'm going to go ahead and get the Arial font. I'm going to make it. I'm going to turn it into bold. And I think this is a bigger font than, because this font here is small, this font is big. So I think what we're going to do here is turn this into maybe a 14 font, and that looks better. It's offset a little bit here, so I'm going to give that a little bump. This, however, is justified on the completely different side. It's aligned on the other side. This is justified left, this is justified right. How do we do that? Easy. Home tab. We're going to go to the alignment section, and I'm going to align the text right. And that's how we do that. Need to make this bold. Need to make this Arial. I'm going to make the same size. It doesn't seem the same size over here. I might just give a little bit of, make this 12 instead of 14. Don't know why the designers did it that way, but they did it. It's okay. So now you get down to the build to and the ship to. I've got a similar problem here. There's some bolding, there's some all caps here, and then there's some indentation. So let's go ahead and take care of that in good order. Oops, I realized I made a mistake. I'm going to put my all caps on. Ship to. Good, got that done. I'm going to grab both these cells at the same time because I'm concerned about efficiency and I want to do things as efficiently as possible. So I'm going to bold them now, and that's how you do that. And I think what I see is some multiple indenting going on here. So I'm going to indent these guys, okay, and I'm going to indent this group of cells twice. Okay, I think that's actually what they've done here. I'm going to do the same thing over here. Indent these guys twice. Okay. The description seems like the same in here. The description is filled in with a dark blue. It looks like the same dark blue over here. So I'm going to try to match that. I'm going to grab the entire cell here, and I'm going to try to get that to match this. So it's already filled in for me, so that's easy. But I'll just, for the sake of being obvious, I'm going to pull down the menu. I'm going to click the drop menu, and then I'm going to fill in with some white color, give it a bold, and boom, that looks pretty good. I also notice now that I've left out one. There's an amount here, so let's make it amount, all caps. I have a justification problem here, and then I need to align the text over there. Good. And it's all working out. Now, there is an automatic, this is a common way that invoices are made. There's alternating colors for various rows, and I can make that manually rather simple. I'll do that here. I'll give this a light blue tint, and this one a light blue tint, and that one a light blue tint. There are some automation features in Excel that do this for you automatically. I'm not going to cover them here today, but if you want to, you can explore those for yourselves. They're really convenient, and they're many times they're very time-saving. We got problem here in that these terms are justified right, so let's bring that over here. They're justified right. Now they look a whole lot like here, and they're also details. They are caps, so let's do that. Caps, and boom. Now here there are lines here, and how we're going to do that? Well, the way we're going to do that is by affecting the border. Here's the border tab. We're at the Home tab. the font section, and we're going to adjust the borders. So I'm going to click that border, and I'm going to do the same thing here. And what I don't have here is the blue here, and I don't know why that's not letting me do it. That should be right there. Okay, and as we get to the bottom of the invoice sheet, we'll notice that there's something missing. Over in the sheet over here, we notice there's a blue bottom. There's a blue border missing. This is a light blue border. This appears to be a more solid, darker blue border. And we can put borders here, but this is a good illustration, a good example of the difference between the online platform and the desktop platform, the traditional platform, the Microsoft Excel that you download on your computer. Microsoft is intentionally left some features go in the online environment, and they keep some features tucked away in the expensive platform that you have to buy. So in other words, evidently this is one feature that in the online program you cannot do much with. So what we can do is say we're going to put a border down here, and I will go to the Home tab, come to the font and the border section, and I'm going to grab a bottom border, and I'm going to click on that, and you'll notice that after I unclick from this cell, you'll see that that bottom border is in fact there. So now you can see there's a bottom border. I'm going to do the same thing by clicking this cell and doing the same thing all over again. Although this time all I have to do is click this button, and it has been done. I'll off click it, and you can see now there's two borders here. There's one more thing to include down here, and that is make checks payable to freesermon.com, and thank you for your business. And that is that. Now I'm going to, at this point, we need to share the document, and I'm going to show you how to do that. You can do this a number of different ways. One is you can go to the File menu and you can share right here. The other way to do it is you can simply click Share, big button up here, and you would enter my email address, sharecman89@gmail.com, and here you go. Say, hi, Chris, here is my project number 1, and your name, whatever. And I'm not going to send it here, but this is how you would share your document. I'm going to close this without sending. Okay. And that is project 1. I hope this has been helpful, and would appreciate any feedback that you have on how helpful or unhelpful or how this could be better. Okay. Thank you.